I want to review previous postal performance and potential improvements to our election infrastructure. In July of this year, the Postal Service Inspector General published a report titled "The Postal Service's Election Mail Readiness for the 2024 General Election," and you're familiar with that report. Mm-hmm. And I want to give you an opportunity to respond to some of the points made in that. The IG's report found, as you testify, that the Postal Service appears to be ready to serve the American public during the election, but the report did highlight a few opportunities for operational improvements that I'd like to talk about. The report found some cases of election mail policies not being properly followed in some facilities, which caused some ballots to be out of place. And to correct this, the IG recommended additional training and education on election mail policies. How are you ensuring that Postal Service employees, from clerks to letter carriers to supervisors, have the time and resources they need to understand and internalize election mail procedures?
Thank you, sir. We are overwhelmingly enhancing our training across all aspects of our operation. That is the fundamental thing we need to do for these extra efforts that we put in election mail to actually work. Okay, so we are on lots of different processes and groups and departments in terms of our reorganization, and we're on a daily mission to train over 600,000 people across 31,000 ratty locations, I might say, on how to improve our operating practices across the board, and at this time, most specifically in the election mail area. Okay, we're doing very well at this, just not perfect. The OIG, on the other hand, has a couple hundred people. They send out to those same rowdy plants and interrogate and investigate our people and review processes, and they find some things wrong. They're perfect at that.
Sure. Tell us what the Learn and Grow education series is.
This is Learn and Grow is a normal process within the Postal Service where whatever subject matter that we want to teach our workforce on a specific issue, sometimes it's in general to all areas of the organization, sometimes it's specific to a department. We create content, be it written material, be it video, be it, and we put it out across the organization through stand-up talks and other methods of.
And you've been growing that, is that correct?
We talk to our employees a whole lot.
Okay, and on election mail, there's a weekly election mail education series that began in February. Am I correct in that?
We have a lot of things that, yes. So that if we have weekly. There's a lot of material out there with regard to election and other service matters.
Thank you. Now, the July Inspector General report also showed cases of employees who were trained on election mail policies but did not properly execute them during the election. The IG made multiple recommendations that management reinforce policies to postal workers handling election mail. In light of that report, how are you keeping election mail procedures front of mind for busy postal workers during the election?
So I have daily reporting that comes up to our performance improvement group, that comes up to each of the operational executives. I demand a high level of attention from the high-level parts of the organization. I meet 2 times a week on specific election matters, both in terms of operational processes, the training, and the communication with the election officials.
Is that the National Election Mail Joint Task Force you're talking about?
I've created a National Election Joint Mail Task Force that includes our union, ambassadors from our union that are in our plants and review processes and communicate up through a committee a group that I set up in 2020 that has stood up for the whole year to interact with election officials and our people to improve processes.
All right. Now, your testimony mentions the Postal Service has many dedicated systems to get election mail where it needs to be, when it needs to be there. Can you discuss some of the details of these systems? Additionally, how will you track compliance with the systems?
Well, systems I'll apply it where I think we're talking about. Basically, the postal system as a whole, as it works, would collect mail and it move through its normal machine process, its collection, aggregation, its transportation process, its machine process to get through and go on to its destination in a normal course of business without segregating it and mining for it separately, throughout the process. That is the mail process as it was designed and been using, and this, for the most part, operates at a high level of precision. Right now, we deliver 60% of market-dominant mail a day in advance, and 96%, 97% the day after its delivery date. These statistics, about 80%, 40%, are all with regard to an archaic timing system, right? But for election mail, we add to that with additional processes called extraordinary measures, where we rifle through each day, our carriers. We rifle through 300 million pieces of mail as they move through the system and look for ballots and pull them out and expedite them through a variety of different ways across the nation. And there's a host of other operations that we take when we look at how our machine processes are worked. Right now, we will not even put a machine in for maintenance without me signing off on it, right? Because we put it, not necessarily because it's going to impact the mail, because we're trying to calm everybody down.
On that point, last question.
Yeah.
Are American citizens going to be able to trust mail-in ballots?
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't know why you wouldn't. We've delivered in the heightened part of a pandemic in the most sensationalized political time of elections, and we still got with a lot of noise, for lack of a better way, at the particular time, and we delivered at 99 point whatever % I mentioned earlier. So
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Cartwright. Now recognize Mrs. Hinson for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Joyce.